Bear from the Guardians of Services, and this morning we have Teresa Stevenson with us from VFW Auxiliary Post 539 out of Henryetta. Good morning, Teresa.
Good morning.
Teresa, can you give us some information about yourself?
I am a past military brat. My grandfather served in World War II, 101 Airborne. My father served U.S. Navy during Vietnam, and then my son served for almost 9 years in the U.S. Navy as well. So I have been a life member for a little over 10 years of the VFW Auxiliary. Currently the Auxiliary 539 president, which I love. We have some good membership, and it's good what we do to service our veterans.
Okay, and what can you tell us about the history of Post 539?
Well, I do know that Post 539 was established May 2nd, 1921. A lot of our local members now, we've lost a lot of history during this time, and trying to find some of maybe the relatives that are looking forward to join. I do have some names on our charter that we have that hangs in our building. We have Mundell, Fellow, Shelton, Carmichael, Kelzer, Thomas, Reynolds, Pippin, Hudson, Borsteller, Olson, Colin, Craig, maybe a Mercer, Williams, and Clausen, and Hamill. These people are all on our charter who started the auxiliary back in 1921, which our name back then was Wesley Reynolds 539. During that time, we don't know when it's changed, where it went to just Henryetta. So we're asking the community, if you've known any of these names that I just called out, get a hold of us, because we would like to gain some of this history back, because we are 104 years old right now, and I'm really determined to get membership in to keep us going for another 100 years.
Okay, and then what is the mission of the VFW Auxiliary?
The mission is for the auxiliary is at national level. They were established in 1914, and it's uniting individuals from all walks of life with a common purpose, and that's to improve the lives of our veterans, service members, their families, and our communities. So that's what we gear a lot of our involvement with assisting. So
in the communities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some of the events that you do to help the veterans or the community?
Some of the events, it's like all the patriotic days, we're out assisting the VFW Post members. We do fun events, especially with our youth, Christmas parties. We've developed, we started one a year ago where it's a community Christmas party. You don't have to just be in a veteran family or whatever, and we let them come in and do some crafts and play some games and get to visit with Santa. So that's one of our biggest ones we've just started this year.
Okay, and so that's going to be December the 13th from 11 to 1?
Yes.
At the Briefcase in Henryetta.
Mm-hmm.
And the community kids are allowed to come with their parents if they
Mm-hmm.
need. That's one of our events, and then at Christmas time you take the veterans in the nursing home Christmas baskets?
Yes. We're the closest VA facility. We also have helped at Jack Montgomery out of Muskogee, Oklahoma, is a hospital there. And we've taken around Halloween times, different candies and different stuff that they request. They just got done having what they call a veteran baby shower, and our auxiliary and some post members were able to assist with baby items, and it was a little over $500 worth of stuff that we were able to help donate there. But then again, on Veterans Day and Christmas and all the holidays, and sometimes non-holidays, we want our veterans remembered. And so here locally in Henryetta, we have several nursing homes that have veterans staying in them. So we make sure that we take them gifts and to always let them know that they're being remembered by us.
All right. And then Halloween, October 31st from 3:30 to 5:30, we're going to be at the Doughboy statue by the library in Henryetta passing out candy to kids. We usually pass out about candy to about 1,000 kids every year. So we're going to be there October 31st from 3:30 to 5:30. Our meetings are usually on the first Tuesday of the month. At 6 o'clock, we meet as a joint group between the auxiliary and the VFW for about 30 minutes. And this month, or November, we're going to present the Teacher of the Year, which is Jamie Brandt from Shelter School. She's our Post Teacher of the Year this year. And then we're also going to have the Neurolumen coordinator, Colby Dilbeck. She's going to give us a presentation on the Neurolumen, which is a device that helps with pain management. And it's absolutely free to veterans if they go to the VA hospital and get that requested through their primary care manager to go to the pain management clinic. All right. We also do loyalty days, and that's normally around the 1st of May, the first weekend of May. This year it's going to be in Okmulgee, which is an event where each VFW in our district, which is 5 different VFWs, have different games and booths set up for that event. We don't have an exact date right now, but it should be towards the end of April and the 1st of May when we have loyalty days. And every year we change towns. So this year it's going to be in Eufaula. And the VFW Auxiliary sponsors scholarship competitions, which we have a deadline of October 31st. Do you want to talk about the scholarships?
If you'd like me to, the VOD, or do you want me to do ours? The VOD and the Patriot Pins are actually the VFW scholarships that they've been doing for over 100 years. And it's usually a theme that National comes out with, the National VFW comes out with each year, that the young child speaks on or writes on. So the VOD is from 9th through 12th grades. It's a recorded essay because it's a voice of democracy, so it's sounding of their voice, not necessarily judging them on their writing, but how they articulate, and getting across their points of what the theme is each year. So that we get out to all the local schools. Miss Trisha Bear here is very gun-ho, and she's pretty much got them all to the local schools and surrounding communities, and they'll be due October 31st.
Yes.
And as well as the Patriot Pen, which goes from 6th through 8th grade, and they write on a specific topic that's again set by National, and it's up to a 400-word essay that they write and turn in, and it's also due by October 31st.
Yes, and then we're going to be at the Doughboy statue on October 31st from 3:30 to 5:30. So if you haven't already contacted us about turning in the essay, you can meet us over there at the Doughboy statue to turn in the essays. On the Voice of Democracy competition, they can win actually up to $35,000 college scholarship at the national level.
Right.
And then Patriot Pen can win up to $5,000 at the national level. However, we do give them cash prizes at the post level, the District 7 level, and also the state level before they even get to the national level. So there's 4 different levels where they can win cash prizes for their essay. So I highly encourage the students to turn in those essays because we'd love to read them, and I think Henryetta Paper is going to actually publish them down the road of whatever essays are turned in.
Cool.
So, okay, and then did you want to talk about the art competition? Is that the auxiliary?
Yes,
Okay.
the auxiliary has what they call Young American Patriotic Art Contest, and it is also a scholarship that tops out at $15,000. They're trying to increase it just like the VOD and making it more applicable where more students win at the national level and increasing the price. But that one is for 9th through 12th graders, and it's just anything that they vision that's patriotism to them that they draw on. They also have the 3D as another, so you can make a 3-dimensional art piece as well and submit it, and those are due by March 31st of each year.
Okay, and then on the two essays we were talking about a minute ago, the theme on those is how do you show patriotism and support for our country. So both essays have the same theme this year, but that is the theme for those essays. We also have a veteran, don't we have a veteran art contest?
Yes, as District 7 has established a veterans only art contest, and the only thing that they have to be a veteran.
Okay.
So it was good the first year. We had several participants, so we're hoping to keep continuing to do that. And the reason we established that is because art is art therapy for a lot of our veterans. You know, you could see what their art is about, and you could kind of tell their history, and it's a calming effect for them to get things out of their minds and stuff, and bring peace to any of the trauma or depression they may from their service time. So it's a good thing. We've had people reach out, and I would say it was about 3 years ago when a veteran reached out because he was following all of my posts about the art competition for the high school kids and the younger kids, and he stated that I wish there was one for veterans. So that's how this has all gotten established. So Henryetta, Okmulgee, McAllister, Muskogee, Eufaula, and
Okmulgee.
Yes, are all part of District 7. So if you have veterans in the area that like to draw, then please contact myself or Tricia, and we could get those collected. That'll be due, those are also due March 31st.
Okay, so March 31st.
But the other one is, we have the Illustrate America, which is younger grades. And it's not really a scholarship, it's more of a contest. And that's in our youth activities. And it's also another way that the younger generation kids could draw what's patriotism to them. So again, it's no certain thing they have to draw. It's just what comes out of the minds of our younger kids nowadays of what patriotism is to them. And you could see all kinds of pretty cool things that come out of the drawings. We've had several schools around here in Henryetta participate, and it's quite pleasing what these kids come up with.
On the veteran art contest, does it have to be painted or drawn? Is there certain rules on that?
It goes like the high school. You can't use any digital art. It's all gotta be, they could do pencil, crayon, paint, whatever their liking is on that. They just can't use any digital photos.
Okay. On the membership eligibility for the auxiliary, what are those membership requirements?
Well, if you look on the little chart right here, right, that's being shown, we have 12. One veteran has 12 eligible family members to be able to join the auxiliary. Years ago, the auxiliary was known as Ladies Auxiliary, and they've come to find out that more female veterans have served, females have served in foreign wars, and that they needed to change that so that the spouse, the husband, could come in and participate and support his veteran. So the eligibility goes back to grandparents. So mother, father, brother, sister, and your grandparents, all the way back. So
Okay. And then, like, to be a member of the VFW, you have to have served in a combat zone. So, for example, Korea, Germany, Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, World War II. Those are the requirements to join the VFW part of our organization. And you just have to bring in the DD 214 that shows that you were in those war zones.
And I would like to add, bringing in membership, as we spoke earlier, our VFW and VFW Auxiliary are 104 years old. Membership is aging out, and it's getting hard getting membership or people to keep our organization going. And I don't really think that the community of Henryetta and surrounding communities think about not having a VFW or VFW Auxiliary. But that's what it's getting close to coming to, because even our fabulous commander, Bill Goodner, we love you, has had to step back, and he's been a historic figure, you know, keeping commandership, and, you know, quartermaster cook, 90-year-old veteran. So these are the age groups that we're getting in both sides as our VFW and our auxiliary. And we need to start getting that younger generation in to keep us being able to follow through with our mission, and that's supporting veterans, their families, our communities. And it's just another family that you develop in volunteering your time. So anybody out there willing to join, get a hold of me or Tricia Bear, and we'll get you signed up.
Yeah, and currently the auxiliary has a raffle. It's a $500 Walmart gift card that they're giving away on Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to draw on Veterans Day. It's $5 a ticket or 5 for 20.
Right.
So if you're interested in buying a ticket, you can either call me or Teresa. My number is 479-414-0952. And do you want them to call you or email you?
They could call me. My number is 918-429-2418. Or find me on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page titled Henryetta 539 Auxiliary. We post a lot of things that we're putting out for our events and different things that we're doing, so they could even reach out that way too.
Yeah, and you do not have to be present to win. So we're going to draw November 11th after the Henryetta program. Do you know about what time we're going to draw?
Well, after we're getting done with all of our programs throughout Henryetta schools for Veterans Day, membership is actually gathering at our post to have lunch. So we're doing a taco bar, and sometime during that, I would say roughly around 1 o'clock, we'll put all the tickets in the hopper and draw who's the winner of it.
Okay.
And it comes in time, you know, you think $500 Walmart gift card, you know, it's just in time for those Thanksgiving gatherings or even extra Christmas. And this is how that the auxiliary raises fund to continue meeting the needs of our veterans and doing the community activities for our community. And another one we did prior and was for the high school band last year that we raised almost $4,000 for by raffling off a 75-inch TV. So we like to help our community, schools, organizations, whatever. If there's anything that we could help that they're needing, we try to assist, and the high school band was one of them because they were actually building funds to go to Washington, D.C. to march in the parade, Memorial Day parade. So it pleased our hearts to be able to assist because our auxiliary is so small. We have right now we have 42 members. Our roster says 57, but some of them have, you know, aged out, and we've lost a few. So we need to gain our membership back. But man, we continue to strive and keep pushing through and doing what's right, especially in the Henryetta community for others.
Yes, and another event that we do every 90 days is we do Feed the Vets program. So we issue food out to either the veterans or their dependents at New Life Church in Henryetta. We start issuing it out about 11 o'clock in the morning. And then we have about 20 veterans that are housebound that we deliver to after that. So that's every 90 days. So our next one's going to be December the 4th at 11 o'clock. So if you do want to get signed up for Feed the Vets program, give me a call at 479-414-0952 so I can add you to our Feed the Vets list. The other thing that the VFW does is we pay for all the flags that line Main Street in Henryetta. We pay to replace them. We take care of them. If they're damaged, we replace those flags or the flagpole. So that's another thing that our VFW does. So any proceeds that you donate to the VFW is going to go back into our flag fund, helping the veterans with their baskets, funding the Christmas party that we're having December the 13th. So it all goes back to helping the veterans and their dependents. Another thing that we do is on Memorial Day, we put little flags on every single soldier's grave or veteran's grave that's in the cemetery.
Mhm.
I think we cover 12 cemeteries in this area. So we make sure that we put the flags on their graves, and then we have a Memorial Day ceremony every Memorial Day for our veterans. We do currently have a gun raffle that the VFW is having, and it's $5 a ticket, or it's 5 tickets for $20. And that raffle is actually going to be next September 1st because we just had one. So if you're interested in buying a ticket for that, it's $5 a ticket or 5 for $20. I believe it's a Beretta rifle is what it is. Let's see. Also, one thing I do, I'm a veteran service officer for the DAV in Krebs, and then I help veterans out of the VFW office in Henryetta. So if you need help with your benefits, if you have a veteran that passed away and you need DIC benefits, which is dependent indemnity compensation, I help you fill that paperwork out, aid in attendance. I help the veteran fill out their VA claims, their dependent forms, whatever forms they need to help them get their benefits that they deserve. So that's what I do. I'm there by appointment. So call me and I'll be glad to help you do your paperwork for free. It doesn't cost you anything at all for me to talk to you and help you do your paperwork.
I will also add that the VFW and VFW Auxiliary, they do annual Buddy Poppy drives, but we're continuing every day to do a Buddy Poppy drive. And if you'll see this cute little Buddy Poppy flower, it's actually a magnet that auxiliary members have made to raise funds. All the funds that we do for our Buddy Poppy drives goes into what is called a relief fund. And there's only certain things that we could utilize that money for, and that one is supporting veterans. Like sometimes you get a veteran who has a disconnect on a utility bill, or needed extra gas money to make an appointment or something like that. That's where this relief fund money comes. So just always remember, when you see us out there, a lot of times Homeland is gracious, Walmart is gracious to let us set up outside their doors to do our Buddy Poppy drives. And just know, when you donate this money, it goes to help a veteran and family in need, or something in the, forsaking that for help. So that's one of the good things that I really do like about this organization, because we do strive to help make a better life for our veterans and their families.
Okay, and that reminds me, November 22nd, we're going to have a flag drive at Homeland and Walmart, and that's where we accept donations that do pay for the flags that line Main Street. It also helps pay for the little flags that we put on the cemeteries, in the 12 cemeteries surrounding Henryetta. So that's what that flag drive is for. It's on November 22nd at Homeland and Walmart. I don't have a specific time yet set for that, but it will be November 22nd. The cost to join the VFW is $35, and is it $20 for the auxiliary?
It's 25.
Oh, it's
25. Yeah.
Okay.
And the fees, I know on the auxiliary side, the membership fees, you could either choose to go annual, which is $25 per month per year, or you could become a life member, which is, it goes according to your age. So the younger one coming in, 16 and older, are able to join the auxiliary. So roughly 16, starting at 16, it's $200 and something for a life membership, and then it starts decreasing the older you are. I think mine was 176 when I finally converted mine over to a life membership because of my age. So it's not a bad fee. Once you pay your life membership, there's never any dues that on a membership that you provide. The membership actually goes into our relief fund as well. So there's a certain amount of our annual dues or our life membership we get paid back to put in our relief fund to also continue to assist the veterans and their families and stuff.
Okay, and a couple kid groups that we do sponsor is the Frontier City Kids out of Shelter, and then we also sponsor the Dingers baseball team out of Henryetta, so we buy their uniforms for the Dingers baseball team. The Frontier City kids are always volunteering with Feed the Vets, putting out the flags on the graves, or if we have a Christmas party, they're always there to support us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the two group of kids that we do support. I do an online cooking channel here, and it's every Sunday at 2 o'clock. So I'm a chef that graduated from OSUIT, so we provide free cooking classes to anyone that wants to take them. It doesn't cost anything at all. And it's every Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's called the Culinary Command Post. And the other thing that I do, we do this program. It's called Guardian of Services, because we want to educate the veterans and their dependents on the benefits that are available to them,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever organizations that help them get a house, whatever need that they need, that's what our organizations do. So that's why we called it Guardians of Service, to help veterans and their dependents. Are there any other VFW auxiliary programs you can think of you want to talk about?
Yeah, we have the Veterans and Family Support Program, which, we've talked about, where it's just bringing awareness to helping our veterans. It also is the 22 per day. We get educated in suicide awareness and a bunch of other things in that program. We also have the legislative. So the legislative, the more members that VFW or Auxiliary Post, have, those are the voices to make changes for our veterans when it comes to legislative days at Washington, D.C. to get their benefits approved, or whatever the situation is for the betterment of the veterans. So that's another way of becoming a member, because you're being that voice to help get very approved benefits for our veterans. We have the youth activities, which we come in and work with different school groups, youth groups, anything that I stated earlier, to bring teach patriotism to our youth today, because they're our future generation. So working with the youth is always a good thing. And as I said, at youth, 16 years old, they can become members of our auxiliary with the eligible veteran. Then we have our scholarships, which is our art, and we also have a cancer grant that once you're a member through the auxiliary for a year, we don't like to talk about that C word, but there's all kinds of extra benefits that once you're a member that you could gain. And if you ever are diagnosed with cancer, there's a application that could be filled out, and there's some assistance there, monetary assistance that could, help you get to your appointments or pay for prescriptions or something like that. So it's a good benefit. We also have continuing education scholarship, and that's for members who have been a member for at least a year, or it could be for the member's family. Like if my son wanted to go, he could apply for the scholarship and continuing education, and it pays. They're trying to increase it. It's the national president, Lois Callahan's special project this year, is to get that fund increased. Right now, I think it's $1,000 to $1,200 to help someone, a member or a child, family member, to obtain extra learning through college or trade school, or what it may be. So
Okay.
That's that. We do have Americanism program and the auxiliary that we get out and helping with the flags, putting flags up. Teaching our youth today about the meaning of the flag and how to, proper ways of folding it, handling it, and all that. We have that. Then we have our hospital program, and our hospital program focuses on VA facilities or non-VA facilities like your local nursing homes, because there's veterans in them as well. We have outreach, auxiliary outreach, where we're willing to get with another organization and helping with their needs too. And then extension and revitalization is another one of our programs, and it's what keeps us going. We make sure that everybody's staying grouped, we're following what our national bylaws are, and continuing to keep growing within our community with that too. So it's the oldest veteran organization around, the VFW and VFW Auxiliary. So it's actually an honor to be able to assist our veterans and their families, to continue to help them and support them.
Okay. And you were talking about Americanism. We did meet with some kids at the library. They have a reading program during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So we did meet with them. The VFW met with them, and we covered the history of the Doughboy statue that is located right outside the library, which will be there at October 31st passing out candy. So we covered the history of the Doughboy statue. And then, just so you know, on the 100% VA disability benefits, if a veteran is 100% VA disabled, permanently and totally, then that provides their spouse, themselves, and also their kids. Right now, depending on when they got turned 18, there is no deadline on their education benefits for the kids. It used to be like 23 or 26. Well, they extended that to where there's no deadline on when they can use their education benefits. So if a veteran is 100% disabled, permanently and totally VA disabled, then they get the education benefits, they get the tax exemption, which is $25,000 a year in purchases in Oklahoma, depends on your state you live in. They also get excise tax exempt. They also get property tax exempt. So those are just some of the benefits of being 100% VA disabled. Also, your spouse and your kids, up until they're 18, would get Champ VA health insurance for free. So those are just some of the benefits of being 100% VA disabled. So I'd be glad to help you with that. Also, I have a website I set up called theamericansoldier.org, which I put a lot of that information I just mentioned on my website, and it's called theamericansoldier.org. I also wrote a song about soldiers called March On Soldiers, and I put that to the background of the American Spirit video. So if you want to hear the song or learn about more benefits, go to that website. And is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to give them your contact information?
Yes, again, it's Teresa Stevenson. My phone number is 918-429-2418. I could also be reached by email, which is tmstevenson@outlook.com. Or again, reach out to us on our Facebook page for 539 Henryetta Auxiliary Facebook page. We put a lot of information on there for events and activities that were taking place. We have some good-hearted members, and so far, since I have taken over the presidency, they have been recruiting and people stepping up. We just want to grow bigger so that we could offer even more in our community for Henryetta. And, like I said, we don't want, ask yourself, what would you think if there was no longer a VFW and auxiliary in Henryetta? So we need you. We want you to come join us. And it's fun. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the VFW also has a Facebook page. That's VFW Post 539 out of Henryetta. And then my contact information is ladymarine100@yahoo.com. Again, my phone number is 479-414-0952. I'm retired military. I spent 4 years in the Marines and 17 years on active duty in the Army National Guard. And then Teresa's dad and your grandpa was in the Navy, and her son was in the Navy. So we have a lot of military experience to help you do that paperwork, or if you need assistance in any way, we've already been down that road. So that's why we're here to help you, and basically to promote veterans and give them the benefits that they earned and they deserve. So we're all about helping veterans and their dependents.
Yep. Because they kind of served right along with them the time they served. So I don't know if the community here knows what brat, moving from my dad moving from duty station to duty station, kids would ask you, well, where are you from? And we'd go say, well, my dad's in the Navy. Oh, you're just one of those military brats. So it used to hurt my feelings growing up and didn't understand and asking my mom why they call us brats. Yeah. But as I got older and I had to establish a theme as I'm the past Department of Oklahoma 2023-24 state president. And so BRATS, when I was looking up information, it's actually an acronym. And it stands for being brave, resilient, adaptive, and tenacious. And I was like, that is so us. So growing up in these, and seeing some of the outcomes of your family member, your father, your mother serving, in foreign war, the complications coming back and getting just back into civilian world is complicated sometimes. And so it's not so easy. And when you're young kids, you're not understanding that because you don't know anything about really mental health. And so that's why the family is just as important too as our veterans. But the veterans come first.
Yes, and I deployed to Baghdad, Iraq in 2008, which is very scary. And I can't imagine I didn't have any kids at the time, but I can't imagine what they're feeling left behind, because they don't know if they're coming back or not. So that's very scary. So we meet, the VFW and Auxiliary meets the first Tuesday of each month at 6 o'clock. Our office is located behind Love's gas station. It used to be the old health clinic. It's between the ballpark, the high school ballpark, and Love's gas station right off Main Street. Our address is 404 Jack Gibson Drive. And you can basically see Walmart from our parking lot. So we'd love to have you come if you are interested in joining. They need to bring their family members DD-214 or that veteran's DD-214. We just need to see that so we can see what combat zone they served in, which is an eligibility requirement to join either the auxiliary as a family member of that veteran or as the VFW veteran that was served in a combat zone. So we would love to see you, and we appreciate you taking the time to watch our program today. Thank you, Teresa, for being here.
Thank you, Tricia, for all you do. This is one of the hardest working women I have ever seen in my life. So thank you, and to all the VFW members, because we're there to work along with you on your side.
All right, thank you so much.